It's raining.
I'm sorry?
It just started raining.
Mr. Zuckerberg, do I have your full attention?
No.
Do you think I deserve it?
What?
Do you think I deserve your full attention?
I had to swear an oath before we began this deposition, and I don't want to perjure myself, so I have a legal obligation to say no.
Okay, no. You don't think I deserve your attention?
I think if your clients want to sit on my shoulders and call themselves tall, they have a right to give it a try, but there's no requirement that I enjoy sitting here listening to people lie. You have part of my attention. You have the minimum amount. The rest of my attention is back at the offices of Facebook, where my colleagues and I are doing things that no one in this room, including and especially your clients, are intellectually or creatively capable of doing. Did I adequately answer your condescending question?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheapseat Reviews. Welcome back for those that are coming back, and welcome if you are a first-time listener. It is great to have you. The water is warm, and the food is free. This is the podcast. This is the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I might have been a little early.
You're just a little. It's fine. The internet is weird. Like it's lagging, or maybe it's so good I got there before I even said it. I don't know. I don't know. This is episode 313, and tonight we're talking about The Social Network. We're not talking about Facebook. We're talking about the movie about the creators of Facebook. And I am Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is Andrew Never Feed Chicken to Chicken Jimison.
The reason the water is warm is because I've peed in it. So you know.
I didn't think that through. I guess I probably should not have said that. Or maybe I should have. Who knows? And Sam also stole...
Yes.
I'm going to start over. Sam also stole the idea for this podcast from the Winklevoss Vector.
Yes, but just so you know, they both beat me up because of it. and I'm sending them over to you to chase across the quad and hopefully do something very mean to you.
That's a very un-Harvard-like way of thinking.
Yeah, they are gentlemen of Harvard.
Gentlemen of Harvard.
I wonder how many times they said that in that movie, Harvard. They said that a lot in this movie.
They were very proud of what they were doing, even though it sounded like Daddy paid for them to get there.
Well, and cocaine was involved, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Well, not with them, right? Why do I hear myself? Echo.
I don't know. I hear you too.
Is your TV on?
Nope.
Okay. Is it Andrew?
I don't.
My microphone is muted, so it's not me.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do this thing. The Social Network, the movie that was nominated for a couple Oscars, I think. Actually, it won 3 Oscars. This movie came out in 2010. Yeah, 2010. Won it for the 2011. Yep. It won for Best Writing by Aaron Sorkin, Best Achievement in Film Editing, and Best Achievement in Written Music Written for Motion Picture. The score. It won for score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. And yeah, I mean, I rewatched it this time. I know we mentioned it last week. We're not gonna harp on this.
Yes, we are.
But
hold on while I get my string instrument out.
You're gonna just harp all over it.
I'm gonna harp all over this.
Yeah, no, it's the music is good. It's fine. It's not How to Train Your Dragon worthy. I just
nope.
To me, this soundtrack it's like 4 notes. It's bum ba dum.
Yeah,
it's
serviceable.
I mean,
Here's the thing: and this is coming from, and we're all musicians, but coming from speaking with composers, the way that they write, especially for the enjoyment of players, is everybody wants a melody that you can sing. Everybody wants to walk away humming the tune. Can you hum the tune to Social Network next week? I mean, you might today since you just watched it yesterday, but I mean, you can certainly hum the tune to How to Train Your Dragon, and I know I can, and I haven't seen it in 3 years. I still remember that tune.
How does that not? It is Andrew. How do you? How does that not? How does this not win? I mean, that's just amazing stuff. It's just so good. Anyway, all right. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's fine. But this movie itself is an interesting movie. I don't know why, but I really like this movie a lot. I do. I don't know. I have an affinity for, as I don't know, for whatever reason, I like these kind of movies that are based on kind of real people, whether they're good people or not. Like, I love this movie. I love the founder, the McDonald's movie.
Yeah.
I really liked Moneyball. Again, I don't like baseball, but I love that movie. And
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah. I mean, yeah, again, that's such a really good movie, and I mostly enjoyed it. I know I've said multiple times that I probably don't ever want to watch it again because it makes me kind of mad at what these people did to our, but whatever, it's fine. But there's these types of kind of realistic kind of biopics. I really enjoyed them, and also, Aaron Sorkin wrote this, so I'm all over it.
Absolutely. If Aaron Sorkin does something, I'm going to watch it. I just love his. I don't know. It's almost like music, the way he writes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, there's a cadence to a thing. Just the way it's really great. I mean, I'm looking back at the stuff that he's written. I mean, he wrote Moneyball, so obviously one of the reasons why I like that movie a lot too. Charlie Wilson's War, again, really like that movie.
Yep.
Obviously, I love West Wing because I've watched it 3 times all the way through. Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. Again, not enough episodes, but he did. It was really great. I'd never watched Sports Night, but I need to.
Yeah, you'd like Sports Night.
I love The Newsroom. And The American President, right? That's pretty good. And I have a personal connection to that because the girl that plays the trombone playing daughter, I met her. And then he did.
You run into her?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. I gave her a hug. Does that count? Oh, what is happening? No, seriously, what is happening? Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Okay, thank you, ad on the thing.
Did something crash our podcast here?
No, it was just an ad on on the IMDb, not IMDb, on another page I have on my thing. I just forgot about, and it's just.
I thought perhaps you were listening to the Pirates of the Caribbean.
It kind of sounded.
So too. It sounded exactly like Pirates of the Caribbean.
It did sound like it. I didn't mean to. Hopefully that doesn't get us kicked off of YouTube. Anyway, Sorkin's great, and let's talk about this movie, The Social Network. Sam, I'll let you lead off with your 5-word review, sir.
All right, I've got 2. And the first one is a nervous wordsmith's paradise.
Nice.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
Which, I mean, this is all about language. This entire movie is not about action. It's not about intrigue. It's all about words, and I appreciate it. And that kind of brings me to my second one that says depositions shouldn't be so fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The way it's so finely crafted in terms of these should be boring, like mind-numbingly boring depositions, and the way they craft the story in it is just fantastic. And to be able to take 2 different kind of cases, like with the twins, the what's his name, Lone Ranger guy,
The Army Hammer.
Army Hammer, and his twin, and then Spider-Man's case.
Andrew Garfield. Yeah.
They did great. I loved it. I really like this movie.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Gosh. Andrew,
but there was one. I do have to say that I do have one problem with it, and it's only that it totally ticks off my anxious, nervous sense of self. Right. For some reason, this movie really makes me anxious. It's very, I don't know, it's high strung, and for some reason I have a hard time relaxing while watching something like this.
Okay.
And in fact, Opie, did you watch this with Sarah?
I did.
I would like to hear her take on Mark Zuckerberg's character at some point, because the character, from what it looked like was being portrayed, is very on the spectrum for Asperger's.
Well, definitely, yeah. So I mean, that's in the trivia that's a that's a thing, but
Yep. I mean, I don't know if the real Mark Zuckerberg would be considered having Asperger's.
I think he
but
does.
This character is absolutely in the spectrum.
Yeah, no, and I think Mark Zuckerberg is kind of what we call on the spectrum. I don't think they use the word Asperger's anymore. Asperger's.
No,
anymore.
they don't. It's yeah.
But people, I think, that would listen to this show would probably know that phrase.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to send my wife a text message about your question, and I can't I can't type and talk at the same time. So
can't type and talk at the same time.
I really can't. So basically, but
oh, come on, you get in the get wired in, get
get plugged in,
get plugged in,
yeah,
and get it done, or just take a shot every 3 minutes, and
yeah,
or every time an ad pops up. So you've already had one.
You're right. Oh, that was such a weird text message. She's not going to understand anything I just typed because I couldn't think. She's gonna be like, I don't understand anything he just wrote. So, anyway, no, yeah, but that was one of the things that I wrote, that it definitely feels like that he is on the spectrum.
Yep.
So,
are you okay? You seem very distracted.
I'm a little confused at what's happening on that other page that I made reference to earlier.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it's fine. We're good. We'll just keep on rolling. So, what is, Andrew? What's your 5-word review?
Mine is very simple: brilliantly acted, directed, and written.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, I'm right there with you. This movie is very enjoyable. This movie is, it does. I'm with you, Sam, in the fact that it kind of gives a little anxiety as you watch it. But I think is what makes it what it is. It's so clever.
Yeah, it gives you something. It gives you a feeling, and for a movie to do that, it's touching you in a certain way.
And it portrays Mark Zuckerberg as kind of a jerk.
Yep.
But and I kind of hope he is in real life. Like, as weird as that sounds, I kind of hope he's really the way that this movie portrays him, because to me, it just makes this movie better for the movie's sake. Now, for other sake, I hope that he's not really that way. But for the movie's sake, I hope that he is kind of a jerk. I had forgotten. It's something that we live with Facebook. The three of us kind of, well, Sean and I, we were in college when Facebook really started gaining popularity, and it's something that we've lived with now for 15 years or so, and have kind of forgotten that, yeah, it did start out as a rate this girl type of a website, So
Yeah.
in today's Me Too world, I kind of wonder how much they've tried to push that out of the spectrum of today's lens in that Me Too lens,
Yeah.
because I feel like if a lot of people, but at the same time, I also feel like some people are so infatuated with social media in general that regardless of where it had its beginnings, they would decide to stay with it and keep it. But that's not about the movie. That's just about my personal opinion and politics.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I really did feel like the acting in this was really done well, and I think that the
Yeah.
the casting was. I mean, I didn't have. Sometimes we watch something and I have a problem with one person or another, but I think it was just very well casted and very well acted by everyone in it.
Yeah. And I totally agree. I can't see many other people. I think maybe Andrew Garfield's character could have been traded out with a couple others, but in terms of Zuckerberg's character there, I holy crap, he just acted his butt off in that role. And this is also one of those movies where it was you kind of look at it and it's like, if they could just talk normally to each other, if they could just get along, if they weren't such just crazies, they would have been fine and everybody would have been happy, except for, of course, the Army Hammer and his twin.
Yeah,
So
So
I do think that where was I going?
I don't know.
I forget it. It
The-
wasn't important apparently.
Sorry, I was like, I'm sorry if I screwed you up. I
No,
was
you're
just
fine.
gonna
Go ahead.
say. So I've been kind of chatting back and forth with my wife. Again, for those who don't know, I think most of you that probably that do know this, but my wife is a teacher and she does teach children with special needs. And
yep.
I asked her kind of what she thought about it, and she said, "Well, he's extremely high functioning if he's on the
Oh yeah.
spectrum, which obviously he is
Yep.
definitely high functioning. And from all intents and purposes, from what I've seen, he is. From what I've read, I didn't look specifically this up. Um, I said, but did the actor do a good job of portraying that? And then she asked, is he really AU? And I said, I think so. And she said, well, I see Sheldon being more so than Mark.
Really?
And, Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. He's definitely high functioning Asperger's. Like he has all of the traits of being high functioning autism.
Yeah,
And so that's, I don't know. I think that's
I I remember where I was going. I'm sorry.
no. Please go ahead.
I'm going to direct this boat back to where I was for just a second. Um, so right after this, well, not right after, but several years later, when we found out that Jesse Eisenberg was going to play Lex Luthor,
Yeah.
I thought this is going to be terrible. But just go with me for a moment. Imagine this character just has some really bad times, and he slowly becomes the character of Lex Luthor in this. I mean, I can see it. Like
Right.
he's been pushed so far that it's
Right.
pretty much the same character, only the Lex Luthor character is a lot more maniacal and a little bit more crazy.
Well, the fun joke that from one of the other podcasts I listened to, the joke is like, if we were gonna have a supervillain in our lifetime, it would probably be either him or Tesla guy, Elon Musk.
Musk.
Yeah.
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 Like he kind of feels like he could turn into a supervillain. Anyway,
Yep.
Andrew, you did your 5 words, so all right. So I guess it's my turn, right? That's how this works.
Yep.
Mine is quite simply, drunk blogging leads to billions.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Nice.
That's all you need to know. I will say this: I hate how many times I heard when I was working at the university, people would say things like, Well, you don't really need to graduate. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg didn't graduate.
Ugh.
Yeah, but he was, like Sean Parker didn't graduate. It's like, okay. Bill Gates didn't graduate. It's like, okay. Like, yes, you've picked three very specific genius level
Geniuses.
kind of, maybe not Sean
Yeah.
Parker, but definitely, like, Bill Gates and like, go to school,
Finish your schooling.
Finish.
That'll help you.
Yeah, finish your
Yeah.
degree. It'll help more than you think.
Even in this movie, if you look at the averages, right, and you had all those very successful, smart people at Harvard, that in all those crowd scenes, and yet none of them are as powerful as Zucky in this. It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 1 in a million shot, if not more than that. 1 in a billion shot.
Yeah,
really.
it's got to be more than that, right? I mean, the guy created something that's just in it's part of our daily life. I mean, I created a post for the podcast about this movie on Facebook, making the joke like, if we give the movie a bad review, are we going to get kicked off our Facebook page? And
Yeah.
and then I'm sure you probably got an ad because you watched it, so that was really interesting. If you look at Facebook now compared to back then, when he's like, Facebook is cool, we don't know what it is yet, we don't want to do ads, and now
Right.
it's so ad driven that
Yes.
like we're having a conversation about something. I mean, and I've done this. It's so weird. I'll have a conversation with my wife about, you know what? We really need to buy a different brand of toilet paper. I didn't like this kind we got. We should get this other kind. And literally, within an hour, Sarah is scrolling through Facebook, getting ads for that toilet paper.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It's scary. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So they have certainly monetized it.
Oh yeah,
Right?
by a lot. I mean, and there's also a reason why their shares are, $200 and something bucks each.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, when they made it a publicly traded company, that's when all the ads started just flowing on their page.
That is true. Yep. All of a sudden, you've got shareholders that you need to make happy, and no longer can you privately push that sort of thing. And and that really, I guess, was the crux of the argument between the two guys, right? I mean, Mark did not want advertising, and Garfield kept going to New York to try to drum up people to advertise, and that was the I don't know, what would you call it? It was the axe between the two.
Yeah, it was definitely a point of friction, right?
Contention.
Because because if Eduardo is not in New York doing those things, if he decided to go out to LA with them at the beginning, right?
Yep.
He goes out there, then maybe Sean Parker never really gets an opportunity to weasel his way in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we're talking about revisionist history, and it's all kinds of stuff like that. And we don't, the movie, from what Zuckerberg has said publicly, the only things that they got right were his wardrobe.
Yeah.
He didn't particularly think that they did a good job of portraying.
But of course he wouldn't. I mean, they portrayed him in kind of a negative light the entire time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see how they didn't portray him in a good light. If anybody, the Garfield character is the true victim in this whole thing.
Yeah.
But even that, if he wasn't so freaking stubborn and was a little bit more, I don't know, if he leaned into the idea of Facebook a little bit more, I think he would have been fine. I think he wasn't seeing the future like the others were.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. The other thing I would say to him is, I mean, he was as good a friend as you could possibly have to that guy. I mean, Mark was kind of mean to him multiple times. He's like, hey, I need your fraternity brother's emails. And he's like, well, I can't give you that. And he's like, come on, give it to me. He's like, all right. So he gives him his email, and then he makes fun. He's like, really? He's making fun of their email addresses or whatever. And he's like, Andrew Garfield's like, they're not that bad. He says, come on, really? He goes, yeah, you're right. He just caves. because he doesn't want to have a fight because he can't win. So he's kind of the hero of the story, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Right?
I was going to say that Mark Zuckerberg's character is kind of, if anything, kind of anti-hero in a way,
Yeah.
or anti-protagonist, I guess.
Well, in the very last shot, right, is him sitting there refreshing Facebook to see if that girl had ever friended him, right? And are we supposed to feel sorry for him in that shot? Because I don't. I'm like, you deserve this. You made the bed. Now you need to sleep in it, type of thing.
Yeah. Again, the movie. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, it does kind of make us, oh, poor guy, he's by himself. Well, he's by himself because he chose to be. So, yeah. But anyway, gosh, this movie though. I didn't take a lot of notes. I don't know why. I've just not been good at taking notes recently. I've just been getting sucked into the movie recently and just not taking.
It's because we've been watching better quality movies.
And
Yeah,
maybe,
that's true.
and you're probably right. I mean, I wrote, like, one of the first few things is I knew this was a David Fincher movie, but I forgot Sorkin wrote it, and now I get why I like the dialogue. And I spelled dialogue wrong.
Dialogue.
Yeah, I didn't spell it that way. I did write Jurassic Park connection. I thought, this movie has a huge Jurassic Park connection.
A huge Jurassic Park connection?
Really, Sam? Really?
Yes, it was filmed in the same location.
No, it wasn't. You don't.
Well, the raptor scene,
oh wow!
In the windows in the background, I wasn't paying attention for Jurassic Park. Goodness gracious! Laura Dern, no. Sam Neill, no. Ian Malcolm,
no.
Samuel L. Jackson, no. Dennis Nedry, no. Who?
The boy that gets electrocuted in the movie Jurassic Park, that's the Dustin kid. He's the other programmer. He's the third guy of the team.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, he's
the
kid. I figured
he grew up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he had just finished filming The Pacific. And so when he was auditioning for this, he's like, I wanted to do something a lot easier than that, because that movie was pretty or that show was pretty rough.
Yeah.
So yeah. Huh. No, I'm wow. I'm surprised I got one before you did. That's cool.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Jurassic Park connection. There you go. Anyway, so what else did I write? I know this movie kind of makes Mark out to be a douche, but he is classic. I did write Asperger's. And then my last note was, I know Sam and I will bitch about the soundtrack, but I do love the Night on Bald Mountain bit when they're doing the boat race. I do like that part.
And then they lose, and you're like, ha ha ha.
Is that in the Hall of Mountain King or not on Bald Mountain?
Yeah, in the hall, right?
Oh, is it on the hall? I thought it was.
I think it's in the hall.
Oh no,
it's Edward Grieg.
Am I getting my music mixed up?
He might be.
It's okay. It happens.
Bald Mountain is Mussorgsky.
Well,
shame.
You calling shame on me? I wasn't a music ed major like Andrew. Andrew should know. He took Mancher. I didn't. So anyway, so now I'm looking up. I have to know. Yeah, in the Hall of the Mountain King, Opus 23. You're right. I was wrong. Arranged and produced and performed by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, yes. I don't know what else to say about the movie. I mean,
I know it's clean, right? It's precise. Oh. There isn't a time in the movie that is not needed. Does that make sense? Or there isn't extraneous material? Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah. We talk about scenes that aren't needed in movies many times, or if a film's too long and we could have taken out this chunk or that chunk. But I'm with you. I think everything in here is needed and fits in well.
Agree.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of stuff happening, and you're right. I do think that you kind of need it all. And I mean, you're constantly being bombarded with words, which I love. I just the way Sorkin writes. Here's my one bitch about the movie, and it's bothered me every time I've seen this movie, and it bothered me again so much that I recorded a clip of it. The opening scene at the restaurant and the scene in the nightclub when he's talking to Justin Timberlake. I can't hear them because the music is so freaking loud in the background.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be, right?
It's supposed to be. I guess it's supposed to bring you into the TV set. You're supposed to pay attention to them more, but I can't hear them. It is so hard, and I can't turn the TV up, but it's so loud because I got kids in the house trying to sleep, and I was almost tempted to put on closed captioning, just so I could hear what they were saying, and I captured it. We'll play it in just a little bit, but I could not hear them. My gosh, it was so. Anyway, that's kind of my truly only kind of bitch about the movie. Is those two scenes. So I mean, it's not whatever. It's not that big a deal. You ready for some clips? I can play some clips, and maybe that'll spark some more conversation. What do you say?
Sure.
Okay, good. All right, here we go.
I'm not embarrassed. You just made a lot of that up.
She was under oath.
Then I guess that would be the first time somebody's lied under oath.
There you go.
I wish I could think that quick.
Yeah, no.
Kidding. In terms of comebacks and things like
Witty.
that.
Yeah.
Witty, just right off the tongue.
Well, I mean, if you had Sorkin writing for you, you would.
Yeah.
So I actually captured two.
It is not a natural language. We do have to say that. The Sorkin scripts are not natural languages. I don't think people really talk that way. Just like Shakespeare, I don't think they talked that way back then either.
Yeah.
I think Sorkin is a modern Shakespeare. I really do.
Yeah. He's as close to an American version, I think we could. Well, maybe not. I shouldn't say that. I don't know. There's probably been a lot of American writers that probably have written plays and stuff that were just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's hard to do that, to put that sentence together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Which is why we don't know anything about writing.
yeah, obviously. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the point you're trying to make, Sam, is that Sorkin's writing is very unique and different in the way he writes. It is kind of lyrical in a sense. There is a cadence, and it's unlike anything else that we have.
Yep.
So at that level, I would agree with you that it's Shakespearean in that level, in that sense only. I don't want people to think that we're putting him at the same level of Shakespeare. I don't think that would be.
Well, we don't have time to we think Shakespeare is good now because
he's been dead 1,000 years, and we've had a long. Yeah, exactly.
It's so long that we know he's that good.
Yeah, exactly. People probably during watching Shakespeare's plays were like, yeah, he's pretty good, but he's no whatever, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the guy was before him. He's no Chaucer. I don't know if Chaucer was before or after him, but it doesn't matter.
He did run around naked.
He did.
And lose his clothes in bets.
He did do that a lot.
Yeah.
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 I will fong you. Okay, so I captured two clips actually for the intro.
Okay.
And I played the one that I played because I liked it for the tone for the show. But I also captured this. I just liked the dialogue. But again, it's kind of a noisy background. So there you go.
Can I get some food?
I'm sorry you were not sufficiently impressed with my education.
I'm sorry I don't have a rowboat, so we're even.
I think we should just be friends.
I don't want friends.
I was just being polite. I have no intention of being friends with
I'm under some pressure right now from my OS class, and if we could just order some food, I think we should.
Okay, you are probably going to be a very successful computer person. But you're going to go through life thinking that girls don't like you because you're a nerd. And I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that that won't be true. It'll be because you're an asshole.
There you go. Because you're an asshole. So, anyway.
Yep.
I love this line here.
We know he lied to our faces for a month and a half.
No, he never lied to our faces.
Okay, he never saw our faces, fine. He lied to our email accounts, and he gave himself a 42-day head start because he knows what apparently you don't, which is that getting there first is everything.
I'm a competitive racer, Div. I don't think you need to school me on the importance of getting there first. Thank you.
All right.
I love that. I love that so much. Obviously, he understands because he's a competitive racer.
I loved how they played off each other. Those two.
Oh, yeah.
They were awesome.
Well, yeah, and it's crazy because there's two actors, right? It's two different people. Just the other guy in the room is just delivering those lines, and then they just go back and they digitally add Armie Hammer's head to that dude's body when they're both in the same scene delivering.
They used his twin. He's got a twin.
Is this the thing we're gonna do now?
This is Armie Hammer. Army and Hammy Hammer.
Yeah, I was saying what?
His
Army Hammer and Navy Hammer.
Sure, it's not Air Force.
Could be
I'm pretty sure he's got a twin brother. That's why they cast him in this part.
They do have a cousin named Jack Hammer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, people listening at home, you don't know this is the thing Sam likes to do just to piss me off for some reason. Anyway, but the guy that is the other dude, right? That's the other body, the body double.
His brother
is when they're after they get some in the bathroom, Eduardo and Zuckerberg, and they're standing there, and the dude walks up and he's like, "Hey, the bathroom's not available. The girls are freshening up," and he goes, "Sweet, that's the dude, that's the other body double." So, or as Sam wants to keep saying, the brother for some reason.
His brother.
Anyway, so, and when I first saw this movie, the first time I saw it, I didn't know it was one dude. I was like, wow, how cool is it that they got twins that are both really good actors?
Right.
You know, I honestly thought
twins,
that.
a lot of times they'll do the same things together a lot. So more than likely they went through acting school and everything else together.
Other than, what is it? Was it Tia and Tamara Mallory and
the Olsen
Mary Kate
twins.
and Ashley Olsen?
Yeah.
Are there any other famous twins that are?
Not. I mean, there are siblings certainly, but I don't know of other twins.
Yeah. I don't either. I think there are. I've heard that there. Well, I've heard and read, seen something that there are some twins out there, but only one of them is an actress or actor.
Yeah.
And the other one is like, manager Harris Teeter.
Right. My eyes got distracted on the IMDb page here under the quotes. It's at the beginning of the movie, and I couldn't understand what they're saying because of the music and the part where the restaurant. But it says, "Did you know that there are more people with genius IQs living in China than there are people of any kind living in the U.S.?"
Is that true?
I don't know. I would have no idea. I guess you could probably Google that if you want while we're sitting here. But
Google it.
I'm not going to.
Well, Sean, if you were a genius, you would know this.
That's true.
I am clearly not. Because if I was, I would probably have a more successful podcast. This is a great line because I love the visual that it gives.
Gentlemen of
No,
Harvard?
it's because you're not thinking how it's going to look.
How's it going to look?
Like my brother and I are in skeleton costumes chasing the Karate Kid around a high school gym.
I love that. That's such a great line because you know exactly what he's talking about if you've seen the movie. Yeah. If you've not seen the movie,
even if you didn't, you can envision someone getting chased around by people in skeleton costumes.
Yeah, it would be kind of a weird thing to say if you hadn't seen the movie, right? You'd be like, why are they in skeleton costumes? And who's the Karate Kid? Why doesn't he fight back? Like, you wouldn't get it, right? But I mean, but it's such a great visual to say because, like, oh yeah, I totally see it. Like them being the whatever, the bad guy or whatever. So you can totally kind of see that. So yeah. Anyway, Clippy number whatever. Oh, this cracks me up every time.
Theft, misappropriation.
And yes, sir. Punch me in the face. Go ahead.
I love that so much.
That sounds like me at a faculty meeting.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love the idea that that the president of Harvard just has this lady who has this side desk. She's just in there to be, I guess, a witness to what's happening in there or whatever, to help him take notes and stuff. I just love it. I just love that line.
Theft, misappropriation,
And
Yes, sir.
punch me in the face. Go ahead.
He does it so perfectly too. It's just so deadpan. Oh my gosh, I love that. I just love it, love it, love it.
I can't think of how many times I've wanted to say something like that in a situation just like that where I would get fired, but he's the president of Harvard, so whatever.
Right.
You know, being in a parent meeting where I just want to look at someone and say, please just strangle me until I can't breathe. Just choke me out right here, please.
Yes. What else we got here? Time for this clip. So every time, and I mean this, every time I go fishing with my brother-in-law and my father-in-law, which I've gone probably 5 or 6 times over the summer, and I can't tell how many times what they like to do is they will catch a fish, and then use that fish as bait to try to catch more fish, right?
Yeah.
So every time they do that, they catch the fish, and we're going to use this fish to catch more fish. This line, and I mean every time, pops in my head.
I can read about you torturing birds. Since when does reading
Okay,
about
don't
something...
fish! Eat other fish! The marlins and the trout!
The marlins and the trout.
Every time. It's too funny. It's like I'm just sitting there going, don't fish, eat other fish. Like, obviously, because we're fishing with other fish. Like, that's actually how it works. Oh, my gosh. It's too funny. All right. Just a couple more. Oh, just one more. This is the club scene. I recorded 12 seconds of dialogue. I couldn't understand what they were saying.
Arno wants to be a businessman, and for all I know, he's going to be a good one, but he shouldn't be in New York kissing Madison Avenue's ass. This is a once-in-a-generation holy shit idea.
Sorry, I couldn't understand you. Can you repeat that?
Actually, that was really clear coming through here.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad, honestly. It was a lot better than what I...
Maybe it was the visuals that caused your other senses to...
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
I couldn't hear him very well.
Well, and one of the things I thought about this time is that Sean Parker and what he brought to the table, right? And if anything, I think he brought the energy to keep moving, to keep pushing, to keep going forward with what they were doing. And he was kind of the antithesis of Andrew Garfield's character that was trying to dig his heels in to slow it down and come up with kind of a better roadmap. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
And, business-wise, that's, really that's two different kind of styles of business. You've got your typical accountant and financial advisor, things like that in Andrew Garfield's character, who really is looking at the money, who's making sure, we're all safe, who is not involved or who does not like being involved in any way in the risk of business. Whereas the Sean Parker is free spending, freewheeling, pie in the sky, let's go for our dreams type of person, but isn't safe at all.
Yeah, and he had no dog in the fight, really, because if the company failed, what did it matter to him? He had his own thing. And so I can say I've given advice sometime when I don't really have anything invested in it, and I say, go for it. And hindsight, I think, well, maybe I shouldn't have told him that.
And Garfield had money in the game, right? He's the one loaning all the money to begin with, including $19,000.
Hold on, let me check your math on that.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that line.
For the summer, and then he goes out there and he walks in, and first of all, he was left at the airport, but secondly, people are smoking, there's broken glass. It's just, I would be so pissed. I totally felt for his character in that case.
According to the trivia
instance,
that scene where Zuck leaves him at the airport, that actually didn't happen. Zuckerberg actually did pick him up at the airport, but they wanted to kind of emphasize the rift between the two of them.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. Speaking of stuff like that.
And now for some more bad news. Ready?
So there's actually a lot of trivia, and I'm going to try to go through as quickly as I can because I thought some of it was actually pretty good. So Zuckerberg originally planned never to see the movie. He ended up taking several of his employees. He later remarked that despite some of the film's inaccuracies, they got his clothing right.
So he took employees, right? So again, that tells me that, he didn't take a group of friends. He took a group of employees.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was, some of the guys that were there at the beginning with him. I don't know.
Yep.
The real Lawrence Summers called the film's portrayal of his meeting with the Winklevoss twins fairly accurate. He went on to say, "I have heard it said that I can be arrogant, and if that is true, I surely was on that occasion. One of the things you learn as a college president that if an undergraduate is wearing a tie and jacket on Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock, there are two possibilities. One is that they're looking for a job and have an interview. The other that they are an asshole. This was the latter case. Rarely have I encountered such swagger, and I try to respond in kind."
Nice. Oh, that is cool. That makes me so happy that could have happened.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Punch me in the face.
Now, this only music nerds will, appreciate this one, but it annoyed me the way that this was written. So this was obviously written by someone that's not a music person. So it says, the song that plays during the opening credits is only played 2 more times during the film, and each time Trent Reznor recorded the piano from farther away, giving it an illusion of echo and isolation in the final cut. Now, it's not a song because there are no words. It was the score, it was the film, so it would be called a piece. But, again, only music nerds would care. But because when I read that, I was like, what song? What song was played at the beginning of the movie? And I went back and I said, it's just that piano part. It's not a song. So, anyway. Aaron Sorkin's small role as the ad exec was not his own idea. David Fincher was reportedly very insistent that he do it. So that was Aaron Sorkin in the ad room there, where he's like, what's that noise you're making? Okay. Now, we talked about casting earlier. Shia LaBeouf turned down the role of Mark. They went to him first.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I could see him doing this.
Shia kind of looks closer. Like he looks like Zuckerberg, I think, a little bit also. But I don't. And he's kind of neurotic. So I mean, maybe he could have played it, but I think his energy is too high sometimes. Like I think it would be. He seems more frantic than nervous. Like whereas Zuckerberg, he kind of has that kind of unnerving energy constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like what you're saying was like kind of constantly like making you feel uncomfortable. Whereas I feel like, the child is just going to start screaming, "You can do it" at this TV or something. Or just do it. I think that's what he screams. Anyway, and then the last one I wrote was David Shelby plays one of the attorneys for the Winklevoss twins named Gage. The fictional law firm Gage Whitney, sometimes referred to as Gage Whitney Pace, appears in multiple times in the works of Aaron Sorkin, most notably as the law firm where Sam Seaborn was working before he joined the Bartlett presidential campaign.
Interesting.
The firm is also
That's cool.
Yeah, the firm is also mentioned in Studio 60 and The Newsroom and Molly's Game. So there you go. Huh. That's kind of neat. I like that stuff. I like it when you kind of, I don't know.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Okay, we're gonna whip out some David Fincher movies. That's right. So, top 3 David Fincher movies. I've seen 4 of them, and one of them is this movie. So we don't use this movie. So the 3 that I have will be the 3 that I've seen. So I don't know if you guys have seen more. Andrew, you're up.
Which will most likely be the same 3 that I've seen. Because I've seen 3 of them, and other than this one. So, in no particular order, because I like all of them, really. Well, no, I don't. I'm gonna I'm gonna put Zodiac at number 3.
All right.
And then the other two, I like both of them, almost equally, I guess. Fight Club and Panic Room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, neat.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Sam.
All right, I've got my number 3 as The Game. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that one.
I haven't.
Is it Michael Douglas, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
My number 2 is What's in the Box?
Yep, 7, yep.
7, and then, of course, I can't talk about my first pick.
Okay.
Yeah, even on a podcast, I'm not allowed to talk about my first pick.
I still haven't seen it.
Dude!
I know, I just haven't seen it.
Dude, it's so good.
I know. I haven't seen it. It's just one of those things. I've missed it, and I just haven't. I don't know if I'm waiting for it to come to do it for the podcast, or I don't know why. I just haven't watched it. So
yeah,
it's one of those things. So my 3, obviously not Fight Club. Number 3 is Alien 3.
Okay.
Number 2 I put as 7, and number 1 I did Panic Room.
Okay, so your number 2 is what?
7.
No, we're only doing 3.
Nice. Okay. You're such a dumbass.
Oh, I live to please.
Yeah, that's no okay. Is that what this is? I'm not sure. All right. That's it. That's our show. That's it. Actually, that's not entirely our show. We have one more thing we have to do.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
See, even Daniel Radcliffe's not really sure what's going on. This is where we're going to give this movie a score from 0 Facebook likes to 10 Facebook likes. Andrew.
Well, like I said, I liked it, so I clicked the like button. Probably a good 7.5 times.
Like and share. There you go. All right. What you got there, Samwise?
All right. I am with Andrew in terms of it's an amazing. It's a masterclass in both script writing and I think even direction. So I've got to give it a good 7.9 out of 10.
All right.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. Yeah, again, there's reasons why it won for best script and best, writing and things like that. Like there's a reason for those. And I would I'm gonna get it right there in the middle. I'm just gonna give it a 7.7 just to be right there in the middle. Actually, I can't do that. That makes the math too easy. 7.6. There we go. Yeah, no, this is good. I like this one a lot, and it's an interesting movie. It's a movie. I mean, I've probably seen this movie now all the way through, probably 4 or 5 times now. It's a movie that I can just, if it's on, I can stop and just watch it at any point and just be entertained. Same with, well, again, Moneyball and probably not Wolf of Wall Street so much, but
yeah,
there are others, not just Sorkin ones, but there are other movies that are kind of similar to that I can just, oh, this is on, I can. Like just those dialogue-heavy kind of shows, I can just put it on and watch. So, anyway, that's it. I am now going to ask you, what am I going to do? Oh, did we have a hopping man in this movie?
Everybody seemed to have legs.
Anybody, what do you think, Andrew? There's only one I could think of.
Yeah, not that I can think of, but
the one that came to mind when I was thinking about it was, remember when Mark he's created the idea for Facebook, and so the girls are sitting on the couch, and he's talking, he's like, we'll do, Ed gets 30%, 5% will go to Dave. And then there's that other guy in the room, and he's like, you'll do advertising. You'll get paid based off what work you do. We never see that guy again.
That's true.
Do we? Like, I don't think so. I don't think he's there with them in L.A. If he is, he doesn't have a single speaking line.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think I remember seeing him again.
Yeah. So I guess he might be as close as we got to that in this movie. But I do want to ask you this real quick before we're getting a little long for the show. But you guys watched anything recently? I like to ask that every now and then. You guys watching anything cool? Anything fun?
I've picked up the second season of The Boys.
Yeah, same here. Enjoying that immensely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think I did watch Mulan. We
you bought it? Yeah.
We splurged. We figured, we've saved so much money on not going to the movies and not buying DVDs or videos lately that we thought, well, what the heck, it's $30. So we did, and yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. It was a little bit of a deviation from what we would know from the cartoon or from the animated movie, but still really, really good.
Well, and I mean, I think most people kind of knew that going into it, that it was going to be.
If anything, I like it better than the original.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Because I know some people are mad about there's no singing and there's no Mushu, and it's like, well, it's because they're trying to tell the original Chinese story. They're trying to be a little bit more true to the source material.
I do have some problems with it, but I don't want to talk about it right now. We might do that later on when it's.
Yeah, when it becomes just freely available for Disney Plus, maybe we'll do it for the show. I don't know. That's a good idea.
But it's good, but there are some issues.
All right, right on. Sam, you got anything you watching? You mentioned The Boys.
Really enjoying The Boys. Even though Amazon is doing something different where they're only releasing 3 episodes a week, which has been kind of a bummer. Kimberly and I blasted through a show on Amazon called The Show That Goes Wrong, which is fantastic. Basically, it's British. It's a play, and everything that can go wrong in the play goes wrong. And it's really good. I think there's actually a Broadway version of it out there, and every show is a different theme. So they have all sorts of different things they can do. But yeah, that's pretty much what we've been doing here. How about you?
Yeah, we're still we're into book 3 of Avatar: The Last Airbender. The kids are really enjoying that. But I started. I'm on episode 2, or just finished episode 2 of the Umbrella Academy.
Oh, okay.
Since I finished my Leverage run, I need to watch something else, so I picked that up. It's interesting.
Keep up with it. It dips a little mid-season, but it really comes together again at the end.
And then the other thing I watched was this last weekend with my wife. We watched Greyhound.
The dog racing movie.
Yeah, you already made that joke off air. You can't make it again.
Yeah. Why not?
Because
you mean the Buzz documentary?
Yeah, it's still not funny. The World War II Navy movie. It was really good, and
that one. Okay.
And yeah. I made the comment to you a few days ago that it would make a lousy podcast movie because there's no dialogue. It's just them yelling commands at each other. There's no, like if it's like it's the opposite of whatever Sorkin is. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the opposite. There's no dialogue. It's just hard to port, hard to starboard, full spread, subs over there. Here comes the Germans, shoot the thing. Like it's nothing but commands. There's no story that's, he has to learn how to be a commander, and these guys don't trust him because he's a new captain. Like there's none of that. There's a couple of moments where the captain will make a call, and the senior officers on the bridge will kind of look at each other like, is this really what's about to happen? But that's it. It's just a look, and you just have to pick up on the look, and then when it turns out to be the right call, they're like, oh, okay, we get it. All right, good job, Captain. So but it was really good. It was really entertaining, and frankly, I kind of want to watch it again. I'm just looking for an excuse to. So there you go. That's what we're watching, and that was fun. Nice. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. That's our show. Thank you for listening. Next week we're doing. What are we doing? We're doing Red Shoe Diaries. No, Red Sea Diving Resort. Red Sea
Diving Resort. Yeah.
It's got Chris Evans. You got your Captain America. I think it's the first thing he did right after the movie, the Avengers thing.
Did he have to wear loose clothing to not show off his muscles?
Well, he still had his beard, right? He still had his his Infinity War beard still going in this movie. So we'll see. It's the true-ish story, or based on a true-ish story. So there you go. That's it. Next week, Red Sea Diving Resort. Go check out old episodes if you want. Cheapseatreviews.libsyn.com, where you can go back and get old episodes if you can't find them on iTunes. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what it looks like on iHeartRadio or any of the other kind of podcatchers out there. Facebook.com/cheapseatreviews. Is that weird that I'm advertising our Facebook page on a Facebook podcast episode? I don't know. Maybe this will be weird. Twitter @CheapSeatCast. There you go. Twitter, suck it. And your emails to cheapseatreviews@gmail.com. And yeah, Sam and I have been approached. We're going to be guest hosting on another movie review podcast pretty soon, I think. So
Andrew could too, if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, definitely. Andrew can too. We can do the whole three of us. So look for us there. I'll let you know when that all happens. And yeah, so I guess we'll see you next week for Red Sea Diving Apparatus, whatever it's called, Red Sea Diving thing resort. I guess the part that I forgot to say was on behalf of Andrew and Sam. This is Sean saying good night. So there you go. I said it.
Red Sea Diving thing's cool too.
Have you seen it?
No, I'm saying what he said was cool too.